know that the tarot used to be a game for fancy people? That's right. Back in the 15th century, tarot wasn't spiritual or mystical. It was originally created as a card game for the upper class in Europe, something you would bring out for entertainment and not so much enlightenment. It wasn't until the 18th century that the tarot began to be associated with things like esotericism, divination, and symbolic insight as we know it today. It's over time that it's evolved into the tool that we know and love today, the tool that's used by readers and healers and different self-development practitioners all over the world. Tarot is essentially a set of 78 picture cards, and at its core, it's a tool for guidance and self-awareness, something that helps us understand our inner world, the choices in front of us, the patterns influencing our lives. It doesn't tell you what to do, rather it helps you see more clearly so you can choose for yourself. So a tool for empowerment. And inside tarot, these 78 picture cards, we have three main traditions. There's the well-known Rider-Waite-Smith set, crafted by Arthur Edward Waite and illustrated by the lovely Pamela Coleman Smith. It's the most widely used set worldwide, known for its accessible imagery. We then have the Thoth set. Now this was crafted by Aleister Crowley and illustrated by Lady Frida Harris, and it draws very heavily on Hermetic, Kabbalistic and occult teachings, and it tends to be a little bit more abstract compared to the Rider-Waite-Smith set. These two traditions stem from the Debunks or French tradition, which is a much simpler set of tarot cards, particularly when it comes to the minor arcana. When I mean simple, if you have the Five of Cups, you're gonna have Five of Cups, and that's the imagery on the cards. Super simple. All of these traditions share the same structure, so 78 picture cards, and this comprises 22 major arcana cards representing key life lessons and the main archetypal energies in life. We then have 56 minor arcana cards divided into 4 suits, typically wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. This does change from tradition though. With each of these cards coming from, we then have Ace through 10, and then we have 16 court cards, Page, Knight, Queen, and King. Again, this can change from tradition to tradition, so it isn't always fixed. For the Thoth set example, we don't have Page, Knight, Queen, King. Instead, in some sets, we'll have brother, sister, mother, father. Some other variations of the Thoth set are completely different. Prince, princess, queen, knight. So there are a little bit of variation between the different traditions, but the core structure is very much the same. 78 cards, 22 majors, 56 minors, made up of split between 16 core cards and the rest being your straight Ace through 10 minor arcana cards. And together, these cards create a symbolic map of human experience. They really do come together to create this picture from where we can gain things like spiritual growth. We can work through inner conflict. We can understand our relationships. We can understand the everyday life. So how the heck does the tarot actually work? Well, you draw the cards based on a question or area of focus, and you look at the imagery. You look at the symbols, the colors, the characters, and then you interpret what those images mean to you and relate that back to the area or question that you're exploring. The more familiar you become with the cards, the more intuitive and meaningful your readings are going to become. And I do highly recommend that you work with a set of cards that you can actually relate to. If you have a set of Celtic Dragon tarot set, which there is actually a set out there like that, they're beautiful, and you're like, wow, this artwork is amazing and I love the dragons, but you're looking at the cards and you're just like, I don't know enough about dragons or Celtic history to be able to actually relate to these cards and understand what the heck these cards are saying. So cards that are relatable, and you do become used to them over time. You do get more used to the imagery. You'll note things that you hadn't noted before, but start with a set you can actually relate to. Trust me, that makes an incredibly big difference. And yes, anyone can learn to read the cards. You don't need to be psychic or spiritually gifted. All you need to read the tarot is a willingness to learn, reflect, and practice, because tarot is a lifelong practice. Tarot is a beautiful language of symbols, and like any other language, it's something you can study and grow with over time. You're not going to get the tarot overnight, all right? Now let's talk a little bit about prediction. Many people often associate the tarot with fortune telling. And while the tarot can suggest likely outcomes based on current energy or current path, true prediction, the kind that foresees fixed events, requires the gift of prophecy or foresight. That's a spiritual gift, not something the cards themselves provide. Most ethical readers aren't trying to predict the future. They're helping you understand the present so you can move forward with more clarity and more intention. And finally, let's clear up the most common misconception with the tarot. The tarot is not evil, it's not dark, it's not dangerous, and it's definitely not the work of the devil. That myth has come from centuries of fear, religious control, and just pure misunderstanding. At its core, tarot is just a tool. And like any tool, it's how you use it that determines what it becomes. And for many of us, it's a source of reflection, clarity, empowerment, and healing. Tarot is a beautiful thing. In short, the tarot isn't about fortune telling or mysticism for the sake of spectacle or entertainment. It's about insight, growth, and conscious choice. It's a mirror for the soul and a really beautiful way of seeing what's been hidden or hearing what your deeper self already knows. So let's shift all these misconceptions and misunderstandings about the tarot out the way, and what we're left with is an incredibly beautiful, beautiful tool for enlightenment and empowerment.